Okay. I don't know if I'm equipped to actually organize all of the thoughts that are banging around in my head since last night. I don't know about you. I couldn't get to sleep. Couldn't get to sleep. I was, I kind of compared to my mind. There's this condition. It's called Stendhal syndrome, Florence syndrome. And sometimes when people go to the city of Florence, Italy for the first time, and it's beautiful, they feel overwhelmed and dizzy and euphoric because of all the beauty that exists there. I last night watching this, I sit down, I've got my laptop, I'm there, I'm saying I got to take some notes here and there, make some points. I closed it. I was a few minutes in, not even. And I closed it. I got up from my chair and I walked up to the front of our television where I basically stayed most of the night to really, I'm going to make sure that I was hearing things correctly. I couldn't miss it because I couldn't believe. So it was kind of like a perverse Florence syndrome, Stendhal syndrome, where, again, I'm still thrown off. I still cannot believe what we witnessed yesterday. My wife, my son Stephen, and I'm like, I don't think you fully understand. I'm trying to explain to my son, I don't think you fully understand what you're watching. As a young kid, I used to watch debates. I guess I was a bit of a dork and a nerd, and I found it interesting as a kid. So you don't know what you're watching right now. I don't think you fully understand the repercussions of what's really happening right now. This is uncharted waters crap that we're heading into. I wrote a bunch of things down that I wanted to cover today in regards to this. First and foremost, one of the first thoughts in my mind, again, was elder abuse. Now, most of you know what we do at Markowski Investments, WatchDog on Wall Street, we've been doing for years, is helping out senior citizens to help them to avoid being ripped off by con artists, scams, whatnot. Oftentimes we're too late. They've already been ripped off, and we're cleaning up the mess after the fact. Senior citizens are a major target when it comes to financial fraud. Elder abuse, taking advantage of someone, using someone that is not in their fullest capacity later on in life. Again, Dante didn't even write about that. There's a circle of hell that Dante, maybe it goes into false advisors, maybe that circle of hell, which is one right near Satan in Dantes Inferno. Jill Biden, how do you do that to your husband? What type of human being are you to do something like that to your husband? I'm watching this and I felt so bad for the guy. I really did. I had this enormous empathy for this guy and what he was going through. And again, my father-in-law died a few years ago, and several years ago, and he had Parkinson's. And, we would see him, he'd talk, sometimes he would be there and he can have conversations, but then oftentimes he would get that blank stare, and you didn't know, couldn't communicate. You didn't know whether or not he understood what we're saying, whether or not he was incapable of talking. And that was the Joe Biden look last night. I can't even believe they allowed for that split screen. If, and we'll get to this a little bit later, if they really wanted Joe Biden to be successful, put that aside. Okay, kind of foreshadowing what we're going to talk about a little bit later here on the program. I don't know if it was maybe 15 minutes into the debate, and Joe Biden's got a cold. He's got a cold. He's not feeling well. The DNC, his people put that out. My son let me know because, he can handle the Twitter and stuff like that. He can walk and chew gum at the same time when it comes to the tech stuff. I can't do that. You know what? I'll get into it. I'm not gonna put it back. We here, you've been following, you've been listening to this podcast, you listen to my radio show for some time. I said this from the very beginning. Go to the videotape. Okay, go back. I said that the grand desire, and I'm watching them, you Biden throughout the years, and you're watching this decline. You're watching what's taking place. I said he's not going to be the candidate in the end. He's not going to be the candidate in the end. I said what the Democrats are doing right now is genius. It's going to come time to the DNC, and they're going to remove him. We talked about Michelle Obama maybe taking his place. I don't know. I don't know. But quite frankly, that's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. And we called it. Again, the inner workings of politics. I highly recommend the film Wag the Dog, and the political operators behind the scene and how they go about controlling narratives and pushing different things. That's what I see coming. And what's interesting is I think they're going to have to wait. They're going to have to wait, obviously, until then people are going to say, because there was some talk last night. I was just with Britt Hume and how you could go about replacing, because the Democrats do not want Kamala Harris. They don't. Kamala, they know that's going to be, it's going to be a loss. They know that. So how do they step aside with all their DEI woke stuff where they take out the black woman who is the vice president of the United States? Why wouldn't she be the natural for the next one? It's going to come down to the DNC. And I don't know exactly their rules. Okay. They have rules and how things operate, and they have these things called super delegates. I want to go back in time. Going back to the 2008 DNC. It was in Denver, Colorado, and I was there. I went to the Denver. I went to the DNC first, and then I went to Minneapolis, St. Paul for the RNC. And here's a story that I was reporting on it there. Nobody else was. Mainstream media didn't even cover it, but it was taking place. Behind the scenes, at that point in time, Obama had won. Obama had won, but the Hillary people said, no freaking way. They said, no way. This is not going to happen. We can find a way around it here at the convention. We can go to the super delegates. And they were actually trying at that DNC, the super delegates, to give the nomination to Hillary Clinton. There were backroom deals that were done, because make no bones about it, the Clinton camp and the Obama camp, they don't like one another. Maybe they've reconciled to some degree. At that point in time, no way. So they cut that deal. They cut that deal where Hillary Clinton was going to be Secretary of State. Obama got his super delegates, and he got the nomination. Again, it's interesting. It's just the Democratic Party. They always talk about democracy and defending democracy. Right. They didn't allow anybody to run against Joe Biden. Again, this was a political operation from the get-go. Hey, they looked again. I'm telling you what happened. Okay, they're saying to themselves, well, we'll see. Joe's not really running the country anyway. Okay, and if you think he is, go back and watch the debate again. He is not running the country. Somebody else is running the country again. We've been saying that for a long period of time. So again, they basically political calculation for these people. I got an idea. We'll run Joe Biden again. Okay. Things fall apart. That's okay. We'll just replace him at the convention. We'll put somebody else out there as a moderate, a unifier, just like they did with Joe Biden. Joe Biden was, he's going to bring the country together. Oh, Joe Biden, he's always been able to reach across the lines and be a moderate. Bullshit. They put up Biden, that old man, because you know what? They could control him. He's not running the show. So when push comes to shove, they will take him out in the interest of the country. They've got it all scripted. They've got it written. This is how they operate. And again, I bouncing things around in my head. And I have my sub references that come into my head all the time. I'm thinking about Lord of the Rings and Tolkien, and power, the Ring of Power, the precious. And I want you to actually think about these people that Biden surrounds himself with. And when they talk about there's two different countries here, there's we, the people out here that are going to work every single day, busting our butt, raising our families. And I'm sorry, there's a whole nother world of, it's evil that exists in these political circles. I watched Chris Coons this morning doing interviews. One of Biden's running campaign chairs. I don't know. He's helping Biden out. He is a Democrat senator from Delaware as well. Supposed to be a big friend of Biden, and he's touting Biden's performance and how wonderful it was and all of this. And I'm saying to myself, imagine having friends like this. Once again, I have to go back to empathy. You feel sorry. I mean, a true friend, somebody who's a true friend, and this again, stuff I teach my kids, is one that's gonna knock you down and say, hey, listen, you're being an asshole, okay? Or this is wrong. Don't do this. Again, I tell my kids, they've got all their friends in high school. I say, you're going to have, push comes to shove, you're going to have a handful if you're lucky in life. The ones that will really be honest with you when you need to be. The ones that will pull you back when you're getting out of control or you're doing something wrong. And he's got all of these, his buddies and his pals out there touting his performance. You're gonna let something like that happen to your friend? Well, what does it say about the character of these people? What does it say about us, quite frankly, and the types of people that we vote for, that we send there? It's awful. I watched, and again, they didn't really show much of this. You got to go find it. First and foremost, you have to see Biden couldn't even get off the stage last night by himself. His wife, use those terms loosely, had to help him off the stage. And then they're at some rally, post-debate rally. And Jill Biden's got the microphone, and then there's Joe up there looking lost. And he was like he was a little kid. And you have to go watch it. Joe, you did such a great job tonight. Didn't he? He answered all the questions. It was like you were talking to a kindergartner. Oh, what a great job you did. You colored in all the lines and you brought the, I mean, I'm being honest here. I'm not making fun because it's not funny. It's not funny. It's not funny too. And I'm just for it. I'm going to next week, 4th of July, and on my radio show, I do a bit on the 4th of July and I talk about it. And think about what we're celebrating. We're coming close to our 250-year anniversary as a country. And you watch what Washington has become. Like I said, the power, the precious, all these people that their jobs are on the line. Biden's got to win. They don't want to have to scramble and find another job in Washington. Let's just keep Joe Biden in there. They don't care about the country. They care about themselves. They care about their position, being close to power, rising the ranks in Washington, D.C. Imagine, like I said, imagine the founders were watching what took place last night, what's going on in Washington, D.C., how this country's being run. We are a shell of ourselves. This is not united. We celebrate our independence. What? We are nothing like what the founders intended by any stretch of the imagination. Any stretch of the imagination. And I got to bounce some thoughts. I'm going to be talking about it next week, without a doubt, as we get closer to the 4th of July. I want to conclude on this too. The people, Trump won hands down, but then he got some. He lied about this, was dishonest about this. Listen, Trump kept himself under control yesterday. Do I think that he could have done a better job? You know what? He did a good job for Trump. Okay, he did. He didn't act like he wasn't an annoyance up there like he was in the debates last time around, and Biden won handedly. Okay, my thoughts were last night, listening to the debate questions and what was taking place, is that I'm being honest. And again, I'm not putting myself up on a pedestal by any stretch of the imagination. I know plenty of people the same way. I said I would have wiped the floor with both of them. All right, Biden, put him aside. They need to get a little bit better command of the issues. Again, there were some things that I thought that Trump should have knocked out of the park. They were talking about in particular, talking about the military right now, inflation, tying things together, stuff that's happening right now. I mentioned the Houthis and how they're kicking our butts, and how inflation and supply chains are screwed right now. Okay? Things are going to get a lot more expensive. Things are not getting through. Container prices are going up. Why? Because we can't defend shipping lanes, for crying out loud. I mean, Thomas Jefferson, hey, it's where the Marines started, right? Barbary pirates, we had to deal with it. We're not dealing with that at this point. These are issues that I would bring into the fold as well. You want to educate the people. Maybe he'll get to that point in time. But anyway, like I said, to sum things up, we told you. Okay, we told you from the get-go what we saw was going to happen, and it's happening. It's happening. They're going to see something happen at this convention. I don't know what people are saying. Gavin Newsom, I don't know. Michelle Whitmer from Michigan, they're going to come up with somebody. I wouldn't even surprise me if they take somebody from outside. But I don't know if they can control them. But one more thing I said, I keep having thoughts. I'm sorry for being a little bit scatterbrained today. Like I said, I got a perverse form of Florence Syndrome, Stendhal syndrome. I'm a little dizzy by what I just watched. Just to tell you about all those Hollywood types, all these people that we got to follow them on Instagram. You mean to tell me they don't know? They don't know. They don't know exactly what's going on. Who hosted the damn thing? That was Jimmy Kimmel hosted that fundraiser out there. Oh, Biden was absolutely fine. You're a liar. Okay? You're a liar. And shame on all of you people, because again, they're attracted to power too. Okay? They know that that's their ticket. And we forget how often I've talked about the big club that you and I aren't in. Shame on you people. That you would actually even push something like this. You're disgusting. Anyway, you know what? I'm out today. I said, listen, yeah, I'm out. I'm one and done today. I couldn't sleep last night. I'm still trying to process this. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody. WatchDog on WallStreet.com.